Now, directions that you can off-balance somebody from the closed guard. You can off-balance somebody forward over your head. If you do this, make sure you move your head out of the way. So when I do this, I'm either going to pull my knees to my shoulders or stretch my legs out and kick my toes over my head. This is a technique that I got from a Henry Aiken seminar. I just want to give him credit for this particular one. Here, and then my hips lift up, and as my hips drop down, I can now off-balance her forward. The hips lifting and heels kicking down is important to this because if my hips stay right here on the ground, then all I'm doing is just pulling with my hip flexors. So if she's got a good base, it's going to be hard for me to pull because it's just the strength of my legs. If I lift my hips up and then drop them and kick my toes over my head, I get a much better off balance. That's forward. Now, if I'm off balancing her backwards, I don't go straight back because she has base in that direction. What I'm going to do is go diagonally because she does not have base in that direction. That is a dead angle for her. So dead angle forward, dead angle backwards. So in this case, the beginner's version would be me putting my hands over my shoulders and bridging my hips diagonally into her hips to off balance. Once you get comfortable with that, I like to do it without my hands because then my hands are free to control her. So from here, I'm walking my shoulders down and driving my hips forward. Here, rather than using my hands, if I can help it, I'm walking my shoulders down and knocking her diagonally back. Now, when you take the person back and forward, you can use these two things in coordination with each other. So if I'm having trouble pulling her forward because she's got a good base, I can try knocking her back, and then when she pushes back into me, that's my opportunity. That's just the off balancing. If the best time to off balance is when the person is actually moving because they give you momentum in one direction or another. And that also opens up other dead angles. So if she's just sitting here like a lump doing nothing, then her dead angle is forward and diagonally back. If she starts trying to get her knee and my tailbone to open my guard up, she becomes off balance to the side sometimes because that dead angle opens up. So when you do this stuff, it's best to do it when the person is actually moving because they give you momentum to work with. And it's also good to do it when they're moving because they open up more dead angles for you to off balance them in. The last part of this is getting rid of the arms. If the person is posting on you, that means that it's going to be hard for you to off balance them forward. There's a bunch of different ways to get rid of the arms, depending on where they are. If I'm here and she's posting on my hips, very simple, even grabbing the belt is fine. Anything where her hands are around my hips, I can grab the elbows, and as I kick my legs up, I'm flaring her elbows out to the sides, like this. And I'm also taking care to move my head out of the way so I don't take a headbutt to the face. Hands on the elbows, up. If she's putting her hands somewhere else, so anywhere else. Okay, here is good too. So if she grabs higher, this flaring the elbows doesn't work anymore because she has a kickstand right here. So when I pull, this is her brace. So I can break this by getting a cross grip. This hand slides underneath. If I have trouble getting underneath, she drops her elbow, I have to lift my hips up, make space, and then sneak my hand underneath. Now this hand, elbow flares up. I'm gonna grab my own forearm and I want my wrist to get as close to her hand as possible, almost like you're scraping chewing gum off of the ground or a desk or something. Here, breaking up, and as I break up, I pull, because I want to time the breaking of the grip with an off balance to get the person to fall forward. Basic off balancing, very basic grip breaks. Those are the two more common ones you'll deal with.
there's a lot of different grips you'll have to deal with, and there's answers for all those things, but I just want to keep it simple for now.